Welcome to another episode of CSI, Crystal Scene Investigation. So you've seen the crystal detectives working in the 7 crystal systems, but today we face something different, something unprecedented, a crystal serial killer. For months, our crystal investigators, Dr. Amethyst and Detective Emerald, have been collecting evidence trying to put the pieces together. So as more unique crystal structures are dismantled, the clock is ticking to catch the crystal killer soon. So the case of the crystal killer begins at the first crime scene in months. At crime scene number 1, we see a grueling display of the crystal killer's work. 2 monoclinic unit cell lattices are dismantled. No more symmetry for them. Dr. Amethyst and Detective Emerald search the scene and discover 2 X-ray diffraction clues left behind, the cubic arrangement and the coordination number. It's as if the killer left this behind to leave a message. They both look intently at the evidence and realize that there are particles at the corners and additionally at the center of each face in the cubic arrangement, and there's a coordination number of 12. The crystal detectives are happy to get some new evidence to work with, but they get a call. There's another crystal killer crime scene to investigate. Detective Emerald is furious. She states, "They're toying with us now and leaving clues to taunt us. We must catch this crystal killer." They arrive at the second crime scene, which was just as terrible as the previous. A unique rhombohedral unit crystal is no longer symmetrical and unraveled before you. Dr. Amethyst states, "This is a rare crystal unit, and I cannot figure out why someone would want to target them." They find another clue, the atoms per unit cell, which shows that there are 4 atoms per unit cell. Dr. Amethyst can't wait to get back to the lab to put this data together. "We will catch them," she states. "I wish it was faster, but I know with these details, we can stop this madness." Just then, Detective Emerald gets another call. It's the crystal killer. The crystal killer states, "This night will end in terror for all crystals. See you at the next crime scene. Hope you can do your job and catch me." Detective Emerald, "We will find you, scumbag," and hangs up the phone. Then Detective Emerald turns to Dr. Amethyst and says, "We have to get to this next crime scene. The crystal killer is threatening another kill tonight. What can we find out from what we know right now?" Dr. Amethyst, on the spot, blurts out that the only thing left is to know how its packing efficiency is. So the next crime scene must be the packing efficiency power plant. They race to the scene and call for backup. They make it to the packing efficiency power plant, but they were too late. A hexagonal unit crystal has been dismantled with no symmetry. Detective Emerald screams, "No, we're too late. What can we find? What can we find? This is crazy. 3 kills in a day?" Dr. Amethyst actually finds something. "I found the packing efficiency," she states, "but I don't know the amount. With all this X-ray data, let's get this work out and find this killer. We need to go back to our lab and the office to start analyzing all this." So they rush back to the office and the lab to analyze all the data. At Detective Emerald's office, they analyze the cubic arrangement and the coordination number, realizing they're dealing with a Bravais lattice structure from the cubic crystal system, the most symmetrical system. They meet at the lab to analyze the rest of the data. At Dr. Amethyst's lab, they analyze the atoms per unit cell and find that the packing efficiency is 74%. Dr. Amethyst stops and says it must be an FCC crystal killer. Detective Emerald says there's only one who has been on the most wanted crystal list for years, and that is white aluminum. Detective Emerald immediately calls it in and uses crystal signatures to get a location on white aluminum. According to GPS, white aluminum is headed down Main Street. Now we gotta go get him. Our crystal investigators get the location and rush to the scene. "Stop, you're caught." Detective Emerald sighs. "White aluminum, as I live and breathe. You're under arrest for your crystal killings. You're done and you're surrounded." White aluminum says, "Okay, you caught me, but it took you long enough." Just then, Dr. Amethyst states, "Tell us, why did you go around killing other crystals that are so unique?" White aluminum says, "I wanted to prove that I'm the most unique, the only symmetrical crystal of them all. I thought I could outwit you by leaving signature clues of my structure." Detective Emerald states, "Your signature won't protect you from justice, white aluminum. Okay, crystallography may be a puzzle, but it's one we've mastered. Book this coward and get him out of my sight." White aluminum was booked and charged. The end. Hope you guys create your own stories that help you make connections with the material. It can literally be anything, folks. Have a good one.